No problem. Ayman Khan here, 4 seconds out with top trainer Joe McNally. We're in Leeds, neutral venue for the rematch, Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall. Joe, first of all, how's Josh looking?
He's good. Nice to meet you. Amir Khan, yeah, but he's looking good. You know, he's going through the motions now in this media obligations, but he's ready to fight.
A lot of conversation in the aftermath of the first fight as to making the weight and the weight. How's that been? How's the process been heading into the weekend?
Yeah, you know, the weight's not a problem. I've stated from day one. It's like with every fighter. The better you commit to your macronutrients and your meals throughout camp, the easier it is to make the weight. Thankfully, you know, his nutritionist, Dr. Carl Evans, has been on Josh's arse all camp and he stuck to the programme and his weight's fantastic. Same as I'm expecting Jack Catterall's weight to be good also. They're both in magnificent condition. So, yeah, the weight's not an issue in this fight. No, it should be everyone concentrating on the skills, yeah.
And what of the eye? It wasn't an injury. Josh was, certain to make certain that it wasn't an injury, but a minor operation needed. How's he been recovering that heading into the weekend too?
Yeah, he never sustained the injury in camp. It was a previous injury that he'd had treated. And then when we started camp, when we upped the intensity, it was flaring up, which obviously he had to get the muscle tightened behind his eye. And he got the postponement. So then when we got given the green light, we could resume where we left off. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with his eye.
How much of course, you can say, but the game plan going into this one is based up on the first fight, or do you feel like you've had to change quite a bit of Josh to get the victory, or certain victory this time around?
No, don't have to change Josh. Josh Taylor's Josh Taylor. We've worked on stuff that I think will work and solve Catterall's puzzle. And I've stated before, I think two men underperformed on the first fight. And I'd like Josh to be allowed to showcase his skill asset Saturday. Likewise, Jack also. And there's a good ebb and flow to the fight instead of stop-start. The referee getting, too involved and stopping and warning and points. Just let the men showcase the talent and, just let's pray for a good fight.
In such a rivalry like this, has there been a discussion about the judging panel and the referee in this fight?
Of course, it's always a worry. We've got three English referees and three English judges and an English referee. It's not ideal, but we've got to put faith in the British Boxing Board of Control to appoint the ninth official to this. What I don't want is them to be focusing on the controversy of the first fight to then sway the judgment in the second fight. You've got to look at it as a neutral and stay professional to your job, and just let's hope there is no controversy yet. There's one clear winner in Josh Taylor.
You also got the double duty in the form of Gary Cully taking on Peta. Look, Patera, really good fighter. I feel it's the right time for Gary Cully to take the test of Patera.
I haven't really looked too much at Patera. I had one fight with Gary Cully against Reece Mould, which I thought, he was coming back off a knockout defeat, and he performed really well. He showcased things in the gym, and I think he's back to where he belonged. He come away, in my opinion, Reece Mould is a well-rounded, more dangerous opponent than Patera. What I worked with Gary Cully is he's a fantastic talent and, possible future world champion. No one works harder than the guy. I'm expecting a demolition job on Patera.
So I get your thoughts on last weekend's action in the form of Undisputed Fury versus Usyk. It was an amazing event, and it saw Usyk crowned Undisputed Champion in what was a razor-close decision. How did you have the fight?
I think the right man won, yeah. I had Usyk running away with the first quarter of the fight, 4 rounds, and then Fury implemented himself, I thought he'd be a bit more aggressive, Fury, go the body a little bit more to Usyk, but then I think then the knockdown ebbed the flow of the Fury onslaught, and with me having Usyk winning the first 4 clearly, and then the knockdown, Fury needed a knockout, but it was a close fight. I had Usyk by a few rounds, 2 or 3 rounds, and the right man won. And look, a lot of people, it's the same. It's a good fight. It's a fantastic fight, and there's no loser in that fight. it was good, and I just hope they come back, have a rematch, and have another good fight. It's a beautiful time for boxing.
From a trainer's perspective, I was a little bit confused. We know that Sugar Hill's MO is to go on the front foot and look for that knockout, but Fury boxed a lot more. And it seemed like, although to be fair with Fury boxing, it seemed like in the 4th, 5th and 6th, he did have control of Usyk in that fight. Do you think it was the right tactics to set up the victory there for Fury? Do you think maybe Usyk was just too good and he changed the fight?
I think Usyk had perfect strategy. He's a very difficult puzzle to solve, and I think he unravelled a little bit when Fury was going to body, to be fair, especially the big backhand bolos. He didn't like it. And listening to Sugar in the corner, I think he gave magnificent advice, to be fair. I could tell him, stop going back, sit down on a foot, turn a shot over, walk him onto the shots and thing going. I thought it was good advice, to be fair. And whether Tyson listened to that or he didn't, he decided to box. His father was telling him to, I think it was one round, move, play it safe, and then attack him and that. But I think Sugar Hill give fantastic advice, yeah.
That's part of the fallout, because a lot of people are saying that was just too much chaos in the corner and too much conflicting instruction. How do you like your corners, and do you feel that conflicting advice really kind of held Fury back?
Yeah, I've got a close-knit team. If we want to talk, we'll talk in between rounds while we're watching the fight play out. And, if my assistant coaches want to talk, there's a time for it. If you're on a different page in between rounds, one voice only, and that's it. You can overwhelm a fighter with too many instructions. But look, it's the big occasion. It's this. It was the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, and there's a lot of pressure. But I did listen to advice Sugar Hill was giving him, and I thought it was bang on the money.
Fury maybe lucky for some to allow the fight to continue in the 9th round. Did you feel it was the right call from the ref?
Yeah, it's the same, it's the rules, isn't it? Everyone looks too much into this shit. He got caught, he got wobbled, and he was gone. If the ropes are deemed fit as keeping you up, it's counted as a knockdown. It's the referee's experience that's going to differ to whether to let the fight carry on or not. I had the same, a few years ago with David Price. He got put down, he got up, and he nailed Alexander Povetkin. And Povetkin was gone. The likelihood of it, I wanted our Foster to wave the fight on so David could finish the job. Unfortunately, he gave Alexander an 8 count, and then Alexander come out and obviously got the job done on David. It's the same type of setup, really. But if the rules state that if the ropes are deemed fit as keeping you up, it's not a standing 8 count. It's classed as a knockdown.
The contracted rematch clause has been exercised by Tyson Fury, and immediate rematch is happening in October, we believe it to be. Do you feel like that's the right choice to make? There was the choice of potentially having a Joshua fight for Fury instead, but do you feel that immediate rematch is the correct path to go down for Fury?
100%. I think his makeup, the defeat hurt him, but he's a fantastic champion, Tyson, and I expect him to make fine adjustments and come back and make it more of an interesting fight again. I think Usyk could be up for the second one, but it'll be a better Tyson the second fight, I really do. And I don't believe Tyson, he's fighting a man who beat Joshua. Joshua's had a few cracks at the whip of beating Usyk, and he failed. Would I like to see another Joshua Usyk? No. I don't think he's ever going to beat Usyk, to be told. Tyson beat Usyk. I like the clash of styles, Tyson to fight Joshua. That's another good fight, but I think it's a right decision to go straight into the rematch. And do I think he can win the rematch? Of course, absolutely.
You've answered it a little bit in your previous answers, but can I just ask you what he'd have to do differently to make the decision or finish the fight early from a Fury perspective?
Listen to Sugar Hill and impose himself. Don't give too much ground up. I think Sugar Hill nailed it with him. Sit onto the shots and make Usyk his own worst enemy and walk him onto the shots. You run away against Usyk, he'll chase it, and especially a man of his stature, he doesn't have to move that. But look, hindsight's a beautiful thing, innit? But Sugar Hill will nail it next time, I believe. Yeah.
Very last from us, I've spoken a lot about Tyson Fury, just talking about Usyk, just how great he is as a champion, to come up from cruiserweight unheralded as well, to doing it away from soil as well against other much fancied fighters, a great fighter in Usyk.
Oh, he's a legend, and what an ambassador. They say that whoever carries the heavyweight championship of the world carries the sport of boxing, and for Oleksandr Usyk to be undisputed champion, and even Tyson also, but Oleksandr is an ambassador now for the sport of boxing. He's got the weight of the boxing world on his shoulders, and he's just a class act, isn't he? In and out of the ring, and I know that off his team, personal level on Rusamba, who's a lifelong team member at Usyk, and what I know about Usyk, he's a class actor, man, and congratulations to him.
Fantastic. Listen to your thoughts. All the best for the weekend. Thanks for your seconds out, sir.
Yes,
Good man.